Hello, friends, and welcome back to Stories About Entitled People. The first story will be from the category, I don't work here, lady, but you'll see what it's about in the end. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss a new video every single day. Here we go. I don't know if he ever got his coffee. I work in a rather specialized area of forensics. Officially, I'm employed by Police Scotland, but they tend to let other law enforcement agencies, universities, etc. borrow us from time to time. A lot of the time it's for consulting work or guest lecturing, but sometimes we're sent to teach training courses. About 18 months ago, I was asked to lecture at a training course for some of the CID higher-ups in an English police force. It was the first time I'd done anything like it, and I was crapping myself. I met with the governors and other officials for dinner the night before my first day, and after dinner and drinks, I was dropped back at my hotel. To set the scene, it's about 10 p.m. I'm all dressed up in my evening wear, and I'm sitting at the bar in the hotel lounge. The place is dead. It's just me and the barman, so I've taken off my heels, and I'm unraveling my hair, having just ordered a hot chocolate. The barman asks if I want mini marshmallows on my hot chocolate. Yes, of course I want mini marshmallows on my hot chocolate. No, I don't mind waiting while you run to the kitchen. So I'm sitting there trying to trick my phone into connecting to the hotel's Wi-Fi when an angry man walks in. He stomped into the room and slammed his fist down on the bar about 3 feet from me and barked out one word: coffee. I didn't know it, but apparently that attempt at communication was aimed at me. A fact I learned a moment later when Angry Man moved right up next to me, bent over me so his face was practically in mine, and barked out again, coffee. In an attempt to get away from the screaming coffee man, I slipped off the bar stool, putting it between the two of us. Extremely confused and more than a little terrified, it didn't immediately occur to me that he thought I worked there. Hell, it wasn't even registering that he wanted a coffee. He was just repeating it the same way a toddler does when they learn a new word, but don't entirely know what it means. I'm going to blame the confusion, fear, and tiredness for my completely moronic response, which was to parrot the word back to him. Coffee? Coffee! Then he slammed his fist down on the bar again. This time I noticed that he was actually throwing money down. My brain suddenly came back online. The barman should be back in a second. Get me coffee now! Ooh, 4 new words. Progress. Sorry, mate. I don't work here. He's now shouting, you effing lazy liar! You think I'm effing stupid? Yes, actually, but I'll be keeping that to myself. Get off your effing phone and get me a crapping coffee! I really don't. Q rant about me being the only person in the lounge, so of course I must work there, and I was just being lazy, and did I take him for an idiot? All while I'm slowly backing away from the bar so he can't pin me between it and the bar stools. Then he throws in this. Do you have any idea who I am? Do you have any idea how important I am? I never got to find out how important this guy thought he was. Instead, Angry Man's friend came wandering in. He took one look at me, pretty much cornered by Angry Man, who's now screaming about how he'll make sure I never work again, while I'm trying to calmly tell him to back off, and he tries to intervene. He took Angry Man by the shoulders and moved him back away from me while asking him what was going on. This stupid little bee is refusing to serve me. I really don't work here. Angry Man's friend says, she doesn't work here. Let's just all try to calm down. There were a few minutes of Angry Man's friend trying to calm Angry Man while he ranted about getting me fired until 2 barmen arrived, one of them with my hot chocolate. The presence of 3 men distracted Angry Man enough for me to grab my shoes and escape with my chocolatey goodness. As I left, I could hear him demanding to speak to a manager. The next day, after being introduced to a lecture theater full of high-ranking CID officers, I stood and walked to the podium only to be greeted by one guy in the audience laughing hysterically. I just sort of froze trying to figure out the joke. Did I have food on my face? Was my shirt on inside out? A quick check confirmed that no, I'd managed to adult that morning. A few other people began to chuckle as this guy struggled to get a hold of himself. As he regained control, he pointed to his left, where a very red-looking angry man was sitting. I think it was the sheer relief that he wasn't actually laughing at me that caused me to open my mouth and say to Angry Man, "Oh, did you get your coffee in the end?" He walked out. I didn't see him for the rest of the course. And our next story. Boss tells deaf girl to listen to transcribed audio recordings. Okay, no problem. I used to work for a telecom company that's one of the major wireless providers in the USA. My position was strictly technical, working in the Network Operations Center, or NOC for short. I had no interaction with customers, and any face-to-face interaction with coworkers or management was done with the help of my interpreter, whom I've known for years at this point. Cast: me, interpreter Sarah, B, boss, C, coworker. Sarah and I arrive at around 8:45 as usual, and I get clocked in, and Sarah clocks in on her laptop. I get an email from B to the tone of, "Come to my office, please, when you get a chance." Sarah and I head to his office where the following takes place. B: glad you're here. Here's a flash drive with some recordings on it. I need you to listen to these and transcribe them into the CRM under X directory. Sarah and I give each other an odd look. Me: Sir, I'm deaf. Sarah is here because I cannot hear and need her to tell me what you say. Yeah, so? So I can't listen to anything without subtitles. Well, have Sarah listen then tell you what it says and you type it. That's what we pay her for, right? I mean, this sounds like a logical solution, but goes against Sarah's contract. Well, no, it's not her job to do my job for me. Very specifically, it states she is not to do any part of any assigned task for me. This would fall under doing an assigned task for me. Well, it needs to be done, so figure it out. Okay, then I'll ask C to do it then. Is that okay? No, I asked you to do it. Cue malicious compliance. Yes, sir. Sarah and I leave the office, and she asks me how I plan on doing what he's asked. How are you going to pull this off? Sarah says. I just smirk and say, just watch. I get back to my desk and start up Google Voice. I plug the microphone in and the speaker and start playing the audio recording into the microphone, and it starts typing what it heard. The transcript was indecipherable. After about 2 minutes, C walks in and asks what the hell was going on. C: What the hell? What is this? Me: It's an audio recording B asked me to transcribe. He said, figure it out, so that's what I'm doing. C: Oh. Okay. C leaves, and later we found out he went to HR. I don't know all the details, and Sarah couldn't tell me what was really being said since it was against her contract, and it's super serious, and she's super professional. I finish and upload it to X directory and email him it was done. B, via email: See, I knew you could figure it out. Thanks. 20 minutes later, B comes rushing out to my desk, demanding to know what I did. B: Do you think it's funny? This is complete gibberish. Referring to Google Voice's transcription. Me: I did my best using the tools provided and the restrictions placed on me in regards to completing the task. Forget it! And he storms off. He was right. It was complete gibberish. There were barely any words in there, let alone anything resembling English. Sarah: Are you going to get in trouble? Me: For a deaf person transcribing an audio recording all on my own, I think I did better than expected by any reasonable person. She smirked and patted me on the shoulder. And our last story. You really want that mini fridge? I work in an office where we have a small budget set aside for random purchases. It's basically like a petty cash account that we can use for expenses related to our projects and productivity. There are 5 of us who share that account. My team is also on the second floor, where there happens to be a full kitchen, fridge, oven, popcorn machine, coffee makers, etc., right next door. I was given an assignment that involves using a creative mathematical technique. I could build a script for it and spend hours upon hours on it, or I could just get an add-on for the software I currently use and get it done in about 5 minutes. The add-on cost about $200. I was talking to one of my coworkers and told her that I was about to go ask the boss to buy me the software add-on with the petty cash account. No biggie. He'd do it, no problem. Then my coworker started telling me that she was upset people were stealing her coffee creamer from the kitchen, so she was going to ask the boss to buy her a mini fridge for her desk. That fridge also cost about $200. I didn't think much of it, then left to go to lunch. When I came back, I went to my boss's office and asked him if I could use some of the petty cash funds. He said no, because they'd just been exhausted and I'd have to wait 2 weeks. I explained how I really needed the add-on to do my job more efficiently, but he told me, sorry, don't have any money until the 15th. I'm sure you'll figure something out. My project was due before then, so I was going to have to make a script. Crap. It took me hours to build a script to do this because I've never done it before. I had to come in twice overnight as well. I'm salary, so I don't get paid more for coming in extra hours. Sure enough, a few days later, while I was sweating over the script, in walks a delivery man with my coworker's new mini fridge. I learned through the grapevine that my coworker knew the petty cash funds were low, so purposely tried to beat me to the punch. Okay, you want to play this game? I started unplugging her fridge a few months ago. Not every day, but occasionally I'd unplug it and let it sit for a few days, then sneak back there and plug it back in right before she gets to the office. Every time I do this, everything in that fridge, including her precious creamer, goes bad. She has to clean out the fridge with disinfectant constantly, and sometimes her cubicle smells vaguely of sour milk. The fridge has been exchanged 4 times because it's broken. Every time she has to exchange the fridge, my boss has to deal with it because he's the one in charge of the account that made the purchase. He's not happy about it. Yesterday, after the cheese and broccoli incident, they removed her mini fridge permanently from the office. The boss also sent out a memo this morning saying we aren't allowed to make any appliance purchases with the petty cash funds from this point forward, and included a reminder that a full kitchen is right next door. I wonder why he would say that. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.